John Warkentin here from Michael's Camera. Today we're going to do an unboxing of the Blackmagicdesign ATEM Television Studio Pro HD. Now, if you've been following any of our videos in the past, you know that we've been currently using the ATEM Television Studio HD. So the big difference here is this is the Pro unit. So, what is the difference? Well, this is a 2/3 wide 19-inch rack mount unit. It's 1U high. So you've basically got room in a rack to mount the ATEM Television Studio HD along with say a HyperDeck mini recorder or a web presenter. And we've been using this for the last 6 months here at Michael's Camera. However, we've just deployed a new mobile production unit, which we were going to share a little bit more information with you later. But we decided we needed to up our game and get a bigger version of this. Functionally, the two products, the Pro and the regular ATEM Television Studio HDs, are identical. All of the detailed features in the small rack mount unit are available through the remote control over Ethernet protocol. So you can basically dive in and get all the features via the software running on Mac or Windows. With the Pro, you've got physical controls. So let's cut to the chase and bring it out. Now, we're currently using we've got this right side up? Yep, we got it right side up. We're currently using the little ATEM, the one in the rack mount. We're about to open this bad boy and use it. So let's get it. This is a big box. It's got lots of stuff in it. Got a carry handle. It's like coming home with a computer from the Apple Store. Pretty impressive. Let's open it up. So, looks like it's got a flap on the back, on the top here. Maybe I have to do it this way. Oh, that's the side. Gotta do it from the side. There we go. Okay, I might have to stand. This is the biggest box I've ever opened here. Okay, let's get that out. There we go. All these Blackmagic boxes have got beautiful artwork on them. They're always nice and glossy. So we've got, obviously, on the front and back of this, we've got the whole picture of what the front of the unit looks like. We've got on the back all the details, little arrows pointing out to what all the various things are. Much like the little one, it's got the screen on it, but of course we've got way more buttons. We've got all of the preview and program selector keys, which we don't have on the small unit. And we've got a whole audio subsystem, and we've got separate controls for all the wipes. So let's get it open here. Put this box aside. Inside the box, we obviously have our big piece of foam, and there is the welcome card. This is the way all the Blackmagic products have been packaged in the last year or so. So there's this nice little glossy welcome card, and in that is a welcome message from Grant Petty, who is the, what is he? I think he's the CEO. Anyway, so that's that. And then beside that, in a little cardboard folded area, is an SD card with the PDF user's manual, and probably haven't popped it in. I don't really know what else is on it, but in general, there's a user's manual. So that is your literature. There's not a lot of paperwork with these things. There's the welcome card and a piece of media with your user guide. Needless to say, if that gets updated, just go onto the web and you get the new one. So let's put this thing down here and open it up. Woohoo! There we go. High quality foam. It's not the type that just flakes in your hand, so that's good. It's got a little bit of a liner here to, I guess, sort of press down on it. And inside is the box. Oh, that's not light. That feels good. So let's put the foam over to the side. And let's turn it around to the camera. And we've got the handheld camera, can come in a little bit closer. So again, we've got our row of buttons. Once this thing's plugged into the wall, these are all going to be illuminated. So we've got 8 inputs. And just like the regular television studio, it has 4 HDMI inputs and it's got 4 SDI inputs. So you can have a total of 8 cameras coming into this. And of course, along with those digital video inputs, are the stereo audio pairs with them. So basically 16 channels of audio, or 8 stereo pairs, can come into it. So you can choose with these Blackmagic devices how you want to handle that audio. You can have the audio fade with the video, or you can keep the audio in the program full time. It's totally up to you. So they call it, there's just a button here, AFV, right below each one of these audio channels, when that's audio fade with video. Over here is your main slider that goes for your transitions between your preview and your program. And then of course we've got cuts, fades. We've got a whole selection of the white buttons over here. I'm really looking forward to plugging this thing in. The way we've been currently using the ATEM at Michael's, we run most of the control from a laptop. This is now going to free up the laptop for some other jobs, and we can run everything from the physical controls on this box. So let's turn it around and take a look at the back. Oh, before I turn around, there's a trackball up here. I have no idea what it does yet. I can't wait to power it up. So we'll have more of a user report later. Obviously, there's the little display here which gives you your program, and like the other Blackmagic products, there will be an SDI and an HDMI output which gives you your multi-view. So you will have 8 small windows at the bottom of your screen which show you your 8 camera inputs, and then on the left you'll have your preview, and on the right you'll have your program. And if you've watched any of our other videos where you were looking over my shoulder at the Blackmagic system, you've seen that in the past. I can link that through later. But anyway, let's pick this up. This thing is built like a tank. It's beautiful. So on the back, we have our collection of inputs. So and of course, we have a power cable that comes with these things as well. That is not shipped in the box because the power cables are localized for every country. And as I understand it, I think some countries, they don't get a power cable. It might be the distributor that's providing the power cable. So it really depends on where you're buying these things. But in Australia, when we get our Blackmagic devices, they come with an Australian standard IEC power cable. So exactly as you expected. One little point of interest with Blackmagic products, they do not have power switches. Once they're plugged into the wall, they're powered on. So you turn a Blackmagic product on and off at the power point. In Australia, it's not a big problem because your power points are powered. But when you put one of these things into a rack or onto the top of a road case or however you're going to do it, you need to be conscious of how you're going to turn it off and on if you choose to turn it off and on. So we, on our rack, have got power points that are switchable. So let me just sort of give you a little bit of preview. I'll move this over so I can see it a little bit, and I'll kind of walk you through. I might take my glasses off so I can see it, and I'll maybe just sort of put my hand under here and lean it up. So we have our master XLR inputs here. So this is designed to talk to an audio console, and you'll take some line level balance signals into it. So there's your master inputs. Keeping in mind, you still have all the audio channels that are coming through on your video if you choose to use them. We've got a headphone output here, and we've got a talkback microphone input here. Now, talkback microphone is using this Blackmagic protocol to communicate back to your camera operators, and that's all done over these BNC connectors here for the SDI inputs. Obviously, you can't do that on the HDMI. So you've got your 4 SDI camera inputs over here, and these are the talkback channels that go to Blackmagic specific cameras. If you're not running Blackmagic cameras, you don't have to worry about that. Over on the far end here, we've got the multi-view SDI output and the program SDI output. Keep in mind that multi-view is the one that your producer's using to make all their decisions on which camera to switch to and all that kind of nonsense. Over here, we've got the HDMI inputs, of which there's 4. If you need to use all SDI with your Blackmagic device, Blackmagic sells these nice little mini converters, micro converters, and they will convert from HDMI to SDI or SDI to HDMI. So depending on how you want to use your product, you can have more of either flavor of connector. So that's good to know that you can do that, and they're not very expensive at all. I'll do an unboxing of one of those things one of these days, so we'll look forward to that. Lastly, on the other side here, we have a USB connection, which is for doing the software updates, and we've got the Ethernet connection, and there's looks like a 9-pin sub-miniature D connector for remote control. That must be some stand. I've not used that yet. Obviously, power inputs over here, and this unit will run on direct current in addition to line power, which is very different than the smaller unit. So if you want to take this thing mobile, you don't need to power it from the line. It will take anywhere from 12 to 30 volt DC at 3 amps. Over here, there's an HDMI output for the multi-view in addition to the SDI. So you can have 2 multi-view monitors hooked up to this device. So one could be a television set which is facing the talent, i.e. facing me, so I can see what's happening on the program, the preview, and all the cameras. And then, of course, another multi-view monitor could be a Blackmagicdesign monitor, which we're using currently, and that has an SDI input, and your producer will be working with that one. What else do we have on these inputs here just to cover? Well, we've got a reference in and an auxiliary in. Haven't really used those. We'll have to dig into the manual, see what that's all about. But that's basically how it all works. Again, built like a tank. All these preview and program buttons are illuminated. Build quality is perfect here. Fade to black is got a little protector. I don't know if you can see this here. There's a couple little protector, I don't know what you'd call them, but just so your hand doesn't accidentally hit fade to black, because obviously if you hit the fade to black button, you've just faded the program to black. And again, we've got a numeric keypad over here. We've got, well, this trackball. I'm excited. I don't know what the trackball is doing. We've got camera controls over here. We can do iris, focus, and zoom. So these will be for Blackmagic cameras. So definitely, if you're going to be running the Blackmagic cameras connected to the Television Studio Pro HD, you have a very unified system. So I think we've covered most of the basis. We'll do another video about this device in operation once we plug it in and turn it on. I'm quite excited. So we're going to be pulling the previous Television Studio HD out of our rack shortly. And we're going to put this on the top of our Rode case, and we're going to start broadcasting with it. And I'm pretty well certain I'm going to put this device into the hire department. So if you have a hire need for more than 2 cameras, currently we're hiring out the web presenter. If you want to do use more cameras than what the web presenter can handle, come to Michael's. We'll be hiring out the Blackmagicdesign ATEM Television Studio HD probably before the end of the week. So we've got you covered. We've also got a collection of Panasonic PV100 cameras. We're using them right now. We hire those out as well. Very good combination with the Blackmagic devices. And for what it's worth, we are currently recording this broadcast on the HyperDeck Studio Mini. We've been using this for quite some time, but I never did an unboxing of it. But here's the box. Quite small, quite cute, quite effective. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed our little unboxing video here for our rather large box. Honestly, the biggest box I've opened so far on television. It's the Blackmagicdesign ATEM Television Studio Pro HD. I know it's a long buzzword for it, but it's a beautiful product, and we're looking forward to using it in all of our productions here at Michael's Camera. So take care, hit like, do the sharing, subscribe to our channel, and keep those comments rolling. Take care. We'll see you next time.